Hi Gemini, hope you are well. Happy February. I cannot even believe that it's February. Okay, what I want to say, I've got your cards down, but the first thing that I'm noticing is there is not one sword card in here. You are an air sign. So that's important because it's going to allow you to regenerate yourself, to keep your focus where it needs to be, to think about how I can get ahead of certain things. You're pushing something here. And my advice to you is keep going. Don't stop. I think what might happen here, because you've got a lot of threes, you've got 3 threes, but there's a missing component here, and that's where I think the air is going to come in handy to you. It's where you're able to replenish yourself, where you're able to get fresh ideas, new ways to do things, better ways to work with people, how to agree to disagree, what the bigger picture is, how to get your foot in the door when people might not be on board with your agenda, right? Not that that's a negative, it's just they may not be able to see the picture that you've got. And unless you can explain it and get them on board, it might hold you up. You've got a lot of cards that say, like I say, you've got 3 threes. I'll go through the cards in a minute. You've got the 3, you're pushing with a 7, and people are recognizing you. I think it's either a lot more work than you had anticipated, whatever this is. This could be, you've got a lot of fire because the majority of the cards in here are fire cards. And that's why I say I worry without air here, because that's where your body's going to take a hit. You're going to get tired. You're going to put everything into something, but unless you're taking time out for yourself to recoup on your day-to-day, because that's what's missing. We don't have any 5s. We don't have any 6s, and those are intricate because they're where you decide on your day-to-day what routines work for you, how you organize your day, how you organize your week. You know what I mean? How you take care of yourself, how you're able to take care of other people. Where are your boundaries? Do you believe in what you're doing? Which I hope you do. I feel like I want to say to you, fake it till you make it. Because your advice in here really is to just keep pushing. Reach higher, farther, longer than you are. I think it's not a time to back down from something. I think what's happening here is you may be conking out because you're not replenishing yourself. Ask yourself, what in this is working, right? Where can I tweak what's not? Will I still move a mountain for this? That I think is key for you through here. Will I continue to move a mountain for this? Your desire is here for sure. You're going to get the recognition for this, what you're doing. It will be worth the effort. You could also be taking classes in school. You could be working and taking classes, but what you're not doing is taking care of yourself. And you're the key component in this. So, my question is, the other question that I've got, because you're missing a 6, like I say, you jump right from the 3 to the 7. Do you believe in this? Let me just better said, are you open to receive here, right? Do you think that you're worthy of this? I hope you do. Okay, let me go through the cards here. I want to say also here, instead of trying to think your way logically through this, right? Because you're pushing your body here. You're pushing through this. Like you're on autopilot and you're continuing to go. But with this much fire and there's no temperance in here whatsoever. I think I will say this to you. I would say you've got to find some kind of routine. And I'm going the back way with this reading because I can see the agenda you're pushing here. And I'm going to encourage you, like I say, literally, you don't have the star card, but I'm going to tell you, reach for the stars here, because you're pushing something here that if you take a step back, though, and you restructure your day-to-day, and I can't stress how vital that is, your day-to-day routines, how you take care of yourself, literally, like right down to vitamins, supplements, what you're eating, what you're, not eating. You may also feel like, and I'm going to say again, fake it till you make it. Whatever it is you're pushing here, you've got it. You just don't see it in you yet. You know what I mean? So you may think, oh, I'm being a fraud. Well, I can't do this. These people are so much better than me. And that's nonsense, because whatever this is, I'll tell you, you come in with the 7 of Wands, right? Which is who you really are. You're pushing for something here. And the advice with this card is don't back down. Keep going. My concern here, though, is that you're going to burn bridges. And, when we're tired, when we're not thinking right, we can make, we can say things that later we can't take back, right? We can apologize, but we still created the damage, right? So that's my concern here without air signs. Either you're taking in too much from other people and you're not putting yourself in this equation. This would be like, I feel behind here too, this picture of like, did you ever see, I think the picture that you want and what you're striving for is like, and I'm going to use this, it's going to sound superficial, but stick with me. Did you ever watch a soap opera, right? And everything is perfect. These 20-year-olds come out of the gate, they're already owning companies and they're driving, they're living, driving, they've got the life, right? But that's television. And we think, oh my God, I really could aspire to that. And then you see them on a talk show and their life is like average like everybody else's. It's just like everybody else's. You know what I mean? That, I think, is the bridge here. Keep that in mind. You know what I mean? We don't just get somewhere. You're missing components here that I can tell you. With the 5 and the 6 missing, it's the 5 is you've got to nurture this in yourself. And by that, I mean, like the onion, keep shedding things that don't fit this equation and put things in that do. It's like as you're tearing something down, you're building it up with something else. You see what I'm saying? You're going in the right direction. You're going to get there. But I think that how you're going about doing what you're doing, you may end up at a certain point where it feels like it's 2 steps back to have 1 step forward. And that might be part of this process. I don't know what it is you're pushing, whether it's something on the home front, whether you're trying to balance something, whether you are working and in school, whether you're trying to rewrite something. But I'm going to say here again, this is something where you're going to have to like not shut this down, but you're going to have to quiet it enough so that you can feel in your gut the answer to this, what you really need to believe in this, and the steps that you need, more nurturing process here to allow yourself to go forward here. You're going to get there, and I'm going to tell you, push harder than what you're doing, but just do it in a more self-honoring way, right? You can't run the car into the ground. By the time you get where you're going, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. And that's the other thing. Enjoy the parts of this. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? So like I say, you come in with the 7 of Wands, right? Which is a card of really, really pushing for something. And you will achieve it. Okay? You've got it within you to do this. The 7 is like I say, you've got to have faith with this card, though. Like, you really every day have to ask for help with things, guidance, show me something, anything that is your higher power. Call on it daily, even if you've got to write it in your journal at night or in the day or whatever. Okay, now how people see you is the 3 of coins. That's why I say you are getting recognition here, whether you realize it or not. You're getting further than you think. This is you, though, having to have your heart in it, have your mind in it, have your soul in it. You've got to really believe in it, right? If this is something you're pushing an agenda for a financial gain, that will come, but only if you believe in what you're doing. Okay, this is kind of like, I feel like it's like the starving artist card. You've got to believe in your masterpiece to get where you're going, and you will. Okay, now in the past here, you've got the 3 of Wands. You can feel it, taste it, smell it. You may have gotten a little bit of recognition for it. You may have gotten a compliment. You may have gotten your foot out the door. You may really believe in yourself, right? Which is great. Where this is anchored, though, is the 9 of Cups, right? This, like I say, you go from these cards right up to a 9. The 9, though, can be a card of you're missing components to be able to sustain this, which is why it may be listing in the deep past. You know what I mean? Like, it may have been, this could be something you thought you wanted, or, you know, it's a 9. We don't just get there, though. You know what I'm saying? But keep this in mind, because you can get there. Now, the whole origin of this reading is the 4 of Wands. Okay, this is a card of stability. If you're pushing something, though, on a work front, what I want to say to you is know your limits, know your boundaries. People are going to respect you more for saying, you know what, give me a week to clear what I've got, and then I'll be more than happy to take this on for you, or I'll be more than happy to do this. But when you say things like that in an arena, people know that they're not going to give you something and it not come back. They'll know, you know, you knew enough to say, hey, look, I can't take on any more at this moment. Let me finish this first. You know what I'm saying? People are going to respect that, because what you can very easily do with that 4 of Wands is back yourself into a corner. Is like with this 3 getting out of the gate, you could think, aha, I'm there. You're not, though, because you're missing components here, which could crumble this. So don't do that. All right. So with the 4 of Wands, know your boundaries, know your limits. 4 and 3 is getting over a hump, right? Like, I'm on solid ground again, but don't get cocky there. You know what I mean? It's very easy. We're all, you know, praying for this and praying for that, but the minute that we feel like we're on stable ground, we're like, I'm here. But we're not. That's you'll get the kick there, because you don't have a 5, which is key, because a 5 is like, you know, it's what I need for myself and what I can give out. You know what I mean? And for this, I feel the component for you is receiving. Do you know how to receive? I know you know how to push, but do you know how to receive? Do you think you're worthy of this? Right? That's a key component here, because that's going to show up on your day-to-day, whether you end up being someone's doormat here and fulfilling their dream, or whether you're able to say, you know what, I'm going to fulfill my own dream, and I'm going to, you know, you need to keep yourself in the forefront here. And I'm not talking about in a selfish, obnoxious way, but it's like you're pushing the envelope here, and I hope that it's for your agenda and you're not fulfilling a dream of someone else's, right? Because you've got the makings here to really propel yourself forward here. Now, right now, you've got the 10. This is a card that can say, you know what, I may need to just keep pushing right now. And I'm going to encourage you again, like I say, reach for the stars here. If you're not, push further, okay? I know that sounds like an oxymoron, because I'm telling you, you've got to put yourself on the forefront here, and you've got to pump some air into this, because this is where you'll get your fresh ideas. This is where you won't get into a rut, right? That's the difference between a daily routine and rituals. Rituals we look forward to doing. Routines for like, oh, you know I got to brush my teeth. I know I got to wash my face. I know I've got to drive the car. I know I've got to go grocery shopping. Those are things that, you know, but a routine, you've got to incorporate some of that in there, you know. Okay, now the search here is the 3 of Cups, right? But this is kind of like the undertaking that you need to take on with this. And you've got, like I say, a lot of 3s. You've got the 3 of Coins, which is a spirit. You've got to have the mind, body, soul. The Holy Trinity's got to be in here. And this is what you've got to enjoy the process of, each little hump that you get, how much further you get each time, right? It's important to stop and you know, enjoy those moments. You know, don't look for the goal, because that's not going to fulfill you. What's fulfilling you here, whether you realize it or not, is the process and what you're acquiring in it, right? This is like sitting on a park bench and taking in all new views. You know what I mean? So try to look at, how can I do this different? How can I look at this different? How can I make this healthier? How can I make this more fun? Okay, enjoyable. Be in it. Be receptive to it. Okay, because the 3 and the 4 of Cups here, you're getting there. You're over the start, you know, but you're blowing through the nooks and crannies, the nuts and bolts that you need to be able to sustain it when you get here. Okay. All right. Now this is the means in which, how you get there. This is the behavior you've got to adopt with this card, right? This, like I say, is lead by example. Show people how to do things. Be the example. I think what can happen here too is that's why I say, I feel with this card you're putting on a persona that is where it's going to get you. It's not a fake it till you make it. Maybe right now it is, but I feel you don't see this in yourself, right? So people do though, but they'll suck you dry. You know what I mean? So this is where it's important, where you put boundaries on things and you don't become the drop spot for someone else's dream, is what I'm going to say. Okay. All right. Now, the external environment, how you react to it and how it reacts to you, how it affects you. Okay. You've got the Hermit card here. This is needing to, and if you're not, take some time out to yourself, contemplate things, find quiet spaces for yourself. Okay. It's vitally important, because what you're going to get here is the flourishing garden. You've got things there. You've got ripe fruits for the picking. It's just, I think that the key to this is you need the ripe fruits up here. You need to replenish yourself and take care of yourself in a better way. And I think that this can be sucking you dry. So you need to take some time out for yourself. This is reflective time. It's, where do I get new ideas? Where do I put something on paper? How can I do something smarter, not harder? Right? Where do I anticipate the pitfalls? What do I need to get rid of to get further ahead? How do I do this smarter? Things like that, right? Because the outbound card here, the future, is the Page of Wands, right? So you're going to have to back the bus up here. That's why I say the missing nuts and bolts that got you off the ground here, you're going to have to back up the bus a little bit and focus on the things that I was saying, right? Nurture it. You're the it, right? You can't nurture a project if you're like, you know, crawling into work every day. And if this is on the home front, you could be juggling something there too. Or something may have changed on the home front here. Life may have been, you know what I mean? If you've got a 9-to-5 job and everything is in alignment, you know, you go to Pilates after work, you get your, you know, life shook up. Your day-to-day routine is shook up here. But what you're incorporating looks pretty fantastic. And I will tell you, push for it. 7 is a powerhouse card. It is, but you won't sustain an 8 if you don't get your feet under you in the 7. The 7 is other people too. How you're, how you know, coexist with other people. You know what I mean? Do you know how to receive? I can't press that enough, and I don't know why I'm getting that, but it's how am I open to this? Do I deserve this? You do. It's just, I don't feel you believe it yet, right? So push for it. That's what I've got. You're going to get where you're going. This, I think, I really just, I've got to stick with that. With this, though, being the distant past, this could be, you know, when we think, oh, I want to do this. It looks great, right? But then when we get in there, we're like, oh, I've got to start from here. But I think you got out of the gate faster than you thought you might have. Or if there's something you're not yet doing that you're thinking about in February, you'll get it off the ground. Just remember, when you get it off the ground, there's a lot of 3s are the bursting out energies. They burst out. They're the idea. They're the first start of something. I've got my foot in the door, but you've got to lock it down with a 4. And you do. So you get your foot in the door, but you don't have a 5 or a 6. You see what I'm saying? I can't stress that enough, because a 6 is a health house. 6 is your daily routine, but if you're not taking care of yourself, you're building something unhealthy and you won't be able to sustain it. So that's the behavior that you've got to adopt here, right? This is someone that they lead by example. You know what I mean? So lead by example. If you are, I feel in here though, with this is putting boundaries in place and taking care of yourself. Because if you don't, and that's what I really feel this is, I've got to go with that, because I think that you could very possibly be letting either other people dry you out, like really suck you dry, or you're doing it to yourself. This is someone who knows how to take care of themselves because they know what it takes to sustain something. This is a king. It's not a queen. Queens maintain. You have none of those. You've got a king. So you've got to rule the land here. But this is what's good for you and what you're doing. You're forgetting yourself in here. I know that, because you go out, you go out with a page, so you back up the bus. This is like, maybe I planted the bulb upside down. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you realize, I need to go back and put a little more effort into this, into the planning processes, into getting out in front of the pitfalls, the things that could go wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to restructure a financial part of this or something. You know, you may need to restructure or sacrifice a part of your life right now to push this ahead. So whatever this is that you're thinking about doing, getting out of the gate, reach for the stars here with this, because you'll get somewhere. This could be too something where you could end up being like you're going to have to critique something, but you could again pay it forward with something. Like with this card, at some point you could say, you know what, I got this off the ground, or I did this, but what I'm noticing is maybe maybe you want to put more attention to this or that, or you'll use this experience to pay it forward to someone else. You'll end up mentoring someone with whatever it is that you're doing here. So that's what I've got. That's what I'm going to encourage you to do. You know what you're doing. You're just, I don't think you're ready yet to receive it. You should be, but ask yourself why you think this is where we sometimes subconsciously sabotage ourselves, because we don't believe in this. Or this is where we push, but don't realize that we're not receiving. And we could have been, someone was trying to give, but you weren't open to it. You know what I mean? And then animosity sets in, and then it falls apart, and that's when we end up back here. So even if you've got to end up back here, make sure you get the lesson though. You know what I mean? So that when you pull it out of the gate again, the 2 steps forward and the 1 step forward becomes the opposite. So that's all you've got. I can't push you hard enough here, because I really feel like you're going to get there. You've just got to do it in a more practical way. That's all, right? Practical, but listen to what your gut is telling you. Okay. It won't scream over this. I assure you, you won't even hear it. So find some of this time. Okay. So that's what I've got. I hope that I helped you in some way. This is wonderful. Let me know what you're doing. I'm curious. I think this is wonderful, but there's too much fire in here. Way too much fire in here. You will conk yourself out. So there you go. 6th house also, like I say, with all of these planet things going on, you want to take care of yourself. You don't want to push this much fire if you're not able to digest it, basically. Okay, so there you go.